Time now for Media Watch here on France 24, for which I'm joined by James Creedon. Good evening to you,
Chris.
James. I guess you're starting off, not surprisingly, with today's hostage crisis in Algeria. No doubt plenty of action on the internet over that.
That's right. So just a quick look at some reaction on the Algerian web. You have Liberté Algérie. One of their editorials this afternoon was on... did this war effort basically come too late in northern Mali? Everybody's, of course, been making that connection between what's happened in Algeria and the French intervention in northern Mali, an area with almost borderless, really, when it comes down to the facts. And Liberté saying really that since 2003, Islamists have been getting stronger in the region, and perhaps this action could have come sooner. Now, a lot on the social media as well, reflecting Algerian reaction to this in the press. One person very critical of Les Chaînes Algériennes, the TV channels, saying that all they're seeing is music, reports on the countryside, and more music. And here, if you look at the Algérie Presse Service, a website that isn't actually very accessible today, it's the Algerian state press service, and actually their top story is about a tunnel, nothing to do with it. So I think there's an element of press news agencies and TV channels with their head in the sand a little bit about this one. A journalist who works actually for France 24, Tahar Hani, on the internet side of things, he's over 4,000 followers, really knows Algeria well. His account worth following for those who speak French. And here he is quoting the Algerian Minister of Communications saying, you're dreaming if you think Algeria will cede to terrorism. So it seems they had a pretty harsh approach. And I think this tweet sums that up by Carol Potter. The resolving of this hostage crisis in Algeria makes me think of a Russian style, which is to sacrifice the hostages from her point of view. And she points out that Hollande had said earlier in the day that he had a lot of trust in their way of doing things. And a couple of tweets here as well about Cameron and Hollande not being informed about what was going on. That a lot of tweets picking up on that piece of information from the Guardian live blog, and Cameron indeed cancelling that speech with one person saying he'd already bought popcorn. So perhaps an unexpected consequence of all of this sad news.
You've also been looking at Al-Shabaab's
Yes.
Twitter page. There was, of course, a French hostage over in Somalia as well.
That's right. Now, this was a tweet from their account that's the Somali militant group HSM press office, and they announced the death of a French intelligence officer today. The French think he was probably dead for a few days already. Earlier this week, the same Twitter account released a photo of another French soldier who died trying to release Daniel X, which begs the question, should Twitter allow these sort of things to remain up on their webpage? You have French websites here saying, these terrorists who tweet. And it's a debate that comes back again and again, Chris. I suppose we remember last year with the French anti-Semitic tweets under the hashtag Un bon juif, a good Jew. And indeed, they were taken down. It was only the second time that Twitter did take down tweets that were controversial. The first time that happened was here. Twitter removes, neo-Nazi tweets in Germany. That was in, I believe, October of last year. And this was after Twitter did give itself the right to take down certain tweets in January of last year. So it is a question that comes back again and again. Should tweets of this nature, featuring photographs of dead soldiers, calling for jihad, and announcing the death of soldiers, should that sort of a Twitter account be left up? It's a debate that comes back between freedom of speech and, of course, I suppose, supporting terrorism. Twitter says, look, you don't shoot the messenger. If it's a case of the Postal Service having a letter with contents that are terrorist in their nature or promoting terrorism, you don't criticise the Postal Service. I suppose that would be their line of argument. I suppose the difference is a tweet is a little bit more public than a letter concealed within an envelope. So I'm sure it's not the last we'll have heard of that debate.
Absolutely. James Creedon, thanks
Chris.
very much. That's it for Media Watch. You stay with us here on France 24. More news coming up very shortly.